Hi, and welcome to the video today where we will be learning how to compare and order decimals. And as I said, the objectives will be to learn how to compare decimals, learn how to put a group of decimals in order from greatest to least or least to greatest. Let's start off with some vocabulary. We have the greater than symbol, which is a symbol used to show numbers greater than another. We have the less than symbol, which is a symbol used to show numbers less than another. And we have the equal symbol, which is a symbol used to show that numbers have the same value. Okay, let's start off with our steps on how to compare decimals. Step 1, you want to line up your numbers, okay? And in this case, make sure your decimals are lined up and all your numbers are in a straight line up and down vertically. You want to go step 2, you want to go to the highest place value, and to do that you'd go as far left as you possibly can. In this case it would be to the ones place on the whole number side of the place value. And the last step, if the numbers are the same, which as we see here the ones are the same, they're not going to tell us which number is greater than or less than, so we would go to the next digit to the right, in this case the tens place. We see here that the 3 is greater than the 2. So 1 and 3,762 10,000ths is greater than 1 and 2,391 10,000. Okay, so here we will learn how to order decimals. And guess what? The steps are the same. You're just dealing with more numbers. Line up the numbers and line up your decimals is step 1. Step 2, you guessed it, the same step. We go as far left as we possibly can to the highest place value. In this case, the tens place. Alright, and step 3, you would go to the right and you would order them accordingly. Remember, the hungry alligator always eats the largest number. This is the way I always remember it. It's the way I always teach my kids to remember it. It's a fun way to remember it. So here's your little funny clip to remember this by. Alright, let's practice. I'll do this one along with you. We're comparing 53 and 931 thousandths to 54 and 931 thousandths. First step, we line up our numbers, line up our decimals, and go as far left as we can to the highest place value, in this case the tens place. We now see that the fives, which are highlighted in yellow, are the same value. So they're not going to tell which number is greater than or less than. So now we have to go to the next place value, which is the ones place. We see here that the 4 is greater than 3. So, you guessed it, 54 and 931 thousandths is greater than 53 and 931 thousandths. Okay, you try this one on your own. You may pause the video and come back and I'll tell you the answer. Okay, welcome back and thank you for working hard and staying with me here. Okay, so the first step, line up your numbers. Make sure you're doing this. Line up your decimals. Go as far left as you can to the highest place value. In this case, the tens. We see here that the ones are the same, which are highlighted yellow. So they're not going to tell us much. So we have to go to the next place value, which is the ones place. You see that the 3 and 4 are different, so I can pick out a bigger number. In this case, the 4 is bigger than the 3. So the 14 and 931 thousandths is greater in value. So it is greater than. Okay, now I'm going to let you try and practice ordering decimals. If you know how to compare decimals and numbers, then you know how to order them. So you may pause the video here, write these numbers down, and start lining them up and ordering them. In this case, we will be ordering these digits and these decimals from greatest to least. And I always emphasize to my students to pay attention to these instructions because it will flip-flop from time to time on the SOL and in other tests that you may be taking. It could go from greatest to least or least to greatest. So always highlight that with either a highlighter, or if you're on a computer, there's usually a highlighting tool on there, and make sure to highlight that and pay attention to that. Okay, you may pause the video now and order these decimals. Okay, welcome back. I'm going to give you the answer here. The greatest value, or the greatest decimal here, is 9 and 271 thousandths. The second greatest decimal is 5 and 69 hundredths. The third greatest is 1 and 4 tenths. And then the smallest value decimal is 1 and 30 hundredths. Notice here the 30 hundredths, I could take that 0 off at the end of the decimal, and it would be 1 and 3 tenths. It would be the same value. Okay, let's try another step. Again, you may pause the video here, write these down, and go through the steps. Okay, welcome back. I'm going to give you the answers here. Let's see if your work is correct. First, you should have lined up your numbers, lined up your decimals, went as far left as you could to the highest place value, and then started comparing. So, here again, we're lining these up greatest to least. So, the greatest value is 4 and 99 hundredths. Then we have 4 and 732 thousandths. Then we have 4 and 72 hundredths. And we have 3 and 98 hundredths. Okay, now notice here in the instructions, this is what I was talking about earlier. Always pay attention to this on your tests and on your assignments. It says put these numbers in order from least to greatest. This is the opposite of what we have been doing the previous two. So again, go to the steps, line these up, and order them. You may pause the video now. Okay, welcome back. So for the smallest number, we have 11 hundredths, and then we have 14 hundredths, then we have 569 thousandths, and 672 thousandths. Great job, guys. I appreciate you watching the video today, and if you need to, rewatch it, pause it until you get the hang of it. Remember, practice makes perfect. Thank you.